Okay, everybody, another one of our last 2 weeks videos. This one is a little different. It's one of the activities we like to do and some other things I have for you, and it really isn't the final lesson that I have for you. So let me go ahead and share the screen so we can all see what I'd like you to. And this will be shared with you. On the left, you have an activity called Constructing a Leader. And this year we've talked a lot about leadership. This is, in my mind, a very important activity that if you're in a leadership position, you should be doing constantly. And it has 15 categories of skills, qualities that good leaders have. And I ask you to rank them. And I mean, really what I should have you do at the beginning of the year is rank these, and that helps me determine what you're looking for in a leader. The interesting thing is, some of you might put number 3 as the most important thing for a leader. Some of you might put, number 6, ambition. A lot of people put like communication or capacity, but everybody's different. Everybody's very different. And I guess whether it be the most important or least important, I would challenge yourself to try this and to look at the bottom with the success like an iceberg and things like that. And I would challenge yourself to really look at this and go, what do I need to do to be a better leader? And not what I think is the right way to be a leader. The people that I'm leading, I have to find ways to get them to want to follow me, because we can force people to follow us. I mean, bosses, you have to listen to. I was your teacher. In theory, you have to listen to, even though I hope it was never like, you must. I hope we had some options for you. But the idea is, if you want to be a productive leader, a leader that people believe in and trust, these are some of the things that you should strive to have. Now, on the right-hand side, what I used to do is do quotes of the week. And I have a document of like 400 quotes, and we do like a couple every single week of the school year. Well, on the, excuse me, on the right are, 32 of my favorite. And my hope, I know some of you won't read any of it, but I know some of you will, and I hope one of these at some point in your life might make a difference. So what I want to do is actually pull up the activity that I normally do on the last couple of days. And we go over, actually on the last day of school, a few of these quotes. What we do in life echoes in eternity. This is one of my favorites. I say unknown. It's actually from a movie called The Gladiator, which is actually a really good movie. I was just watching. It's pretty graphic. And it's a few years old now, but it's very good. And the whole idea is everything that you do does live on. You may not think it does, that little thing that you did here or there, but everything does stay with us. There are things that I've done in the classroom that I don't even remember because I thought it was so small, and kids will mention it 3 or 4 years later. Realize everything you do does shape who you are, and that's a big deal. This is one of my favorites again. Nature has given us one tongue, but 2 ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes somebody's talking to me, and I'm not even listening to them anymore because I'm worried about what I'm going to say in response. I've failed. I may be hearing, but I'm not listening. I'm not comprehending. I'm so worried about me, not worried about what they're saying. I mean, really, if we had 2 mouths and 1 ear, it'd be very, very different. We'd be crazy. The whole point is we should listen better and more than we do. Another one, this is emotional for me. This quote is by Jimmy Valvano. He was a basketball coach in the 70s and 80s, won a national championship, but this has nothing to do with sports. Jimmy Valvano, after winning a college basketball national championship, was diagnosed with cancer. Now, you can watch the entire video of Jimmy Valvano giving the first ESPY speech online. You will cry, especially if you have someone in your life that has unfortunately been touched by cancer. And I actually encourage you to watch it with them. I've been blessed. I don't have anybody in my life that has been touched by cancer, at least immediately. But I encourage you to watch it. It gives a whole new perspective on life. And one of his big things in it is he says, to me, there are 3 things we should all do every day: laugh, think, and cry. And you're like, okay, well, laugh, I don't mean, I mean that belly laugh. That laugh where you're sitting at lunch and you fall out of the chair because you're laughing so hard. You had the pinnacle of positive emotions. Most of us could probably achieve that. Think. Well, I don't mean which one's your left foot and which one's your right foot when you're trying to put shoes on in the morning. That might be a difficult decision for some of us on some days. But the idea is to really have either an original thought or have a thought that makes your brain hurt. We all get in this comfort zone of, oh, just do the things that don't challenge me. But Valvano was making the point of we really need to grow each day as a thinker. And the last one is always the one where kids roll their eyes to me, because Valvano said you should laugh, think, and cry. And first off, I get all the guys in the room. I'm a guy. I don't cry. We perspire out of the corners of our ears. Whatever. Anyone who tells you that crying is weak, I mean, whoever it is, respect. But crying is not a weak thing. And that's what he was trying to say. If you laugh, think, and cry, you have experienced the full range of human emotion every day. And I guarantee you, for a lot of us, myself included, there are a lot of days where we're able to laugh, think, and where we want to cry, but we hold on to it because we don't want to seem weak. It's not weakness, it's strength. This is a powerful quote, powerful. Like I said, I do strongly encourage you to actually watch his entire speech, but you will be emotional. So please watch it with someone the first time. It might make a difference. A couple more, and I'm done. This is more appropriate the last day of school, but Dr. Seuss, gotta love Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Easier said than done, but when you're sad about how things ended this year or any experience, or I don't get to play as much sports this summer or whatever, think about the positives always and try to think about all the good things that happen and not go on the negatives. This is one of mine that goes back to even college for me, and it's very important, especially in the polarized, divided country that we have today. This quote says, believe half of what you read, half of what you see and hear, and then make your own decision. You shouldn't take anybody's word for 100% accuracy. And you're like, wait, what? We shouldn't trust? No. You need to trust. But everybody comes from a bias. That's a reality. Your mom and dad are coming from the bias of caring about you, or there might be a different bias involved in addition to that sometimes. Your brothers and sisters, their bias might be that they don't want to put up with you that day, or that they do want to see you, or teachers, there's a bias because we want to inspire you. I mean, everybody. News, we could say that it's to get their political agenda out, possibly. We could go so many different routes. The whole point is just don't believe one thing. Listen to it and fact check. You go to a lot of different voices and make up your own decision. Don't let anybody make the decision for you. That's anybody. I shouldn't be. This whole year, I've said things to get you thinking, but I don't ever want you to believe like me, but I want you to think. In every decision, you have to think for yourself. You can't just go, oh, this person said it, or family believes this way, or, oh, why usually in this political party? No, you have to think for yourself and what's in either your best interest, your family's, the community, the country, however you need to. But you have to make your own decision. You are to that age where you need to start thinking on your own. I know many of you do, but you really need to start. You can't worry about what your friends are going to think. You have to worry about what is the truth for you. And my last quote is always strive for the highest. This was hanging up above the board the entire year. And I just hope that you push yourself to the highest. With that in mind, because it's probably taking a little bit longer. The final lesson is always a little different, and we have some fun with the desks in the classroom. So what I'm actually going to do is switch out of this. Let me cancel that. And I'm going to do this a little bit different because I can't show it exactly the way I want it. So what I happen to have is a short video clip. And let me get my number so I know exactly where to go to. It's only about 1:20. This is from a really great movie. I believe it was in the 80s or early 90s, so I know it's old, called Dead Poets Society. Now, the whole movie has some very serious tones in it. So, not that you guys can't handle it, but I would watch it with maybe parents or something like that if you watch the whole thing. But I steal straight up, I give credit to it every year, this lesson as my last thing for you. And we usually finish this out with like the last 3 minutes of class for every single school year. So let me play the clip and then I'll visualize it and then we'll be good. Now, I'm going to add a little bit to that because we're going to actually stop sharing the screen. This is my last lesson for you. And I'm actually going to move the screen. I encourage you to always look from a different perspective. What do I mean by that? I guarantee you didn't think I was wearing shorts. Take a moment, stand on a chair, look at the ceiling, lay on the grass outside, look through the bush in the yard, lay on the ground in your room. You might discover some things that you never wanted to discover. But take always the perspective to look from the other vantage point. You might discover something. You might learn something about yourself. You might learn something totally new. Please take the moments to change your perspective. And I guarantee you, you will have a greater view on what you and others can be. It truly, I know you've heard me say this a lot. It has been my pleasure working with you this year. I hope that you learned this year. I hope you grew as a person. And I just hope they had a little bit of fun along the way. Always here if you need me. Have a great summer.